Let's do a really fun journal, embroidery, as well as book haul. So, this was for a special occasion, which I am not going to say what it is because I'm a very private person and I just prefer to keep those type of things to myself and not share them on the internet. That's just my personal preference, though. So, the first thing I got was a new journal, which I definitely needed as I just finished my last one. And when it comes to new journals, I'm always trying out a different one. Yes, I have ones that I really like and I go back and forth between them, but sometimes it's fun to just try out something new. Now, I've said this before when it comes to journals, it has to have lined paper, otherwise, it will drive me insane. I used to have, when I first started journaling, the couple of leather journals that I used to use, they actually did not have lined paper, which was fine, but I found myself writing on an angle. So lined journals are a must for me now, and I just prefer them that way. I also thought that this little like slot on the front was really nice. I also got this really cute little gnome bookmark. This feels like it's like an acrylic material. This is so cute. Definitely going with my pile of bookmarks I have. This is really cute. So for the books, I got The Iron King. I've seen a lot of people talking about that this is a really good book for YA. I tend to read a lot more YA books because I just feel like they're easier to avoid when it comes to like spice. But yeah, I follow some accounts on Instagram that only show no spice books, which I really, really appreciate because I feel like it's becoming harder and harder to find books that are like that. So I'm really excited to read that. I got the second book in the Shady Hollow mystery series. I really liked the first book. If you were looking for a really good mystery that's not gory, not scary, not too vivid, anything like that, I would recommend this because it's really, really good. And from the people that have talked about it, they said that they read it with their kids. So I figured that I was safe. This book is really good. It kind of has the feel of Franklin with the animals, but it's a really good book. Next is Adventure is Out There. This is the Disney Pixar Up version of Twisted Tales. Now, we're going to see if I can actually read this without crying because every time I watch the Up movie, I literally cry and I won't even watch the movie Up. One, I don't like it that much, but I cannot watch the movie Up because it will literally make me cry. So I'm hoping that the book is actually going to be better because I really like the Twisted Tale series. I also got the book, The Maker's Violin. I actually have the two other books that this person has wrote, and I'm really excited for this. So yeah. By the way, any books that I don't know if they have no spice or not to them, I do research before we get them because I want to make sure that we're good with no spicy spice. That may not bother some people, but if you're a person that does not read spice, you know how hard it is to find books that have no spice. Anyway, I also got the Tinkerbell and Enchanter's Tale. This is the second book in the Enchanter's Tale series. I read the first book, which is about Cinderella's uh, fairy godmother. I loved that. So I'm really excited to read this. I love reading the backstories behind characters like this. I think it is so fun. And the covers on these books are so pretty. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Now, interesting question. Does anyone read the prologue for the book? Because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I feel like you have to read it. Sometimes I don't. I feel like that kind of makes some people annoyed if you don't read the prologue, but I think everyone just has their own personal preference on that. I also got the book Dance of Thieves. I've seen so many people talk about this. It's apparently a very good book for YA, no spice, no nothing. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to really like this because I have been in a reading slump recently and I just want to be able to be pulled into a book again because I love that feeling. So I'm hoping that I'm going to really enjoy this book. I got some punch and needle stuff. I've never tried punch needle craft before. My mother has, and so she got me some really nice things with this. She did tell me, her exact words were, be careful. She's like, you can very easily accidentally stab your finger with that needle. So she got me some little thumb guards, which I'm very appreciative for because that's probably going to happen. I'm probably going to accidentally do that, but you know what? I've never tried punch needle before, so this is gonna be interesting. I actually did a video recently where I showed the final part of me working on my last embroidery project, which is the book one. I bit off more than I could chew with that, so we got some things that were smaller. I also got this really cute little felt pouch that I think you're supposed to put your embroidery needles into, which I'm going to do here soon. This thing is really, really cute, and I'm hoping that it's gonna keep all of those little needles secure because if you ever dropped a sewing needle on the floor, Not fun. Just not fun. She also got me my own personal, very small scissors here, which I think they're so cute. Now, these things are very sharp, so I'm keeping them into that little case there. And then I got a measuring tape. I feel like everyone who's into crafting needs to have a measuring tape like this. My mom and my grandmother have multiple of these, so it was time that I got my own. My mom also got me a lot of embroidery thread. This is like pastels because sometimes when I do those embroidery projects, I don't like the colors that they give you. And I'm a more of like a pastel person with this. So we got some extra thread in case I wasn't feeling the colors that the embroidery kits offered. So this here are some of the embroidery kits. So this is a lavender one. Looks very simple, hopefully. Again, like I said, my mother was like, we probably should get you some that are smaller so that you don't get overwhelmed. This one I think is so cute. Yeah, I think that these are going to be much easier for me to do. I loved doing that book one, but it was definitely more than I was ready for. And then this is the last embroidery kit. We actually opened it because we wanted to look at something with the thread. And then she also got me this really cute bag to put everything in, which I love. I love the wildflower print. It has so many daisies on it. I love daisies. They're my favorite flower. So yeah, that was just a really fun little haul. Like I said, this was for a special occasion, which I'm going to keep private because I am a very private person and